My name is Derbhile and I'm a writer. I live by the sea in Tramore with my husband and dog. I've devoted my whole life to words. I started off in prose. I have a novel published, some short stories, some memoir, a good bit of journalism. But a few years ago I was attracted to the idea of writing plays because I really liked the idea of being able to perform my writing for an audience and getting that immediate reaction. It evolved over time. After I published my novel, no more ideas for novels were coming, and I was getting a bit depressed about that. But at the same time, I was going to these spoken word nights and performing these slice of life pieces that were humorous and enjoyed by many, by the sounds of it. And over time, I began to notice that these pieces had a common theme to them. The little rules that we're all expected to obey in everyday life, and what happens to you if you decide not to obey them. And I had the chance to perform longer versions of those pieces at comedy lineups, and that was exciting. But then the pandemic came along, and I got the idea to combine them all into a one-woman show. I suppose on a more artistic and philosophical level, I've always been drawn to the idea that small things actually matter, that a play or any piece of art doesn't have to be about a big thing. So my play draws people's attention to the small things in our lives that actually make a big difference, like these little rules that we're all expected to follow, and what price you pay for being yourself, for not following those rules. And I really just wanted to entertain people, and to have any messages in the play wrapped up in story. The play is about woolly jumpers, seafood chowder, and why it takes Irish people so long to say goodbye. So there's action happening in classrooms, in hairdressers where codes of silence are practiced, and in hotel bars, and some outdoor settings as well, on a greenway where rules are also made and broken. And along the way, the play starts to ask some more important, it asks deeper questions about the rules that we all expect each other to live by, and what happens if you decide not to live by those rules. And it's a bit of a rallying cry against cancel culture, because in everyday ways we can sometimes cancel each other, so hold a standard for what we think is appropriate to say and not to say. And perhaps it's worth considering the effect that might have on the person you're cancelling in telling them what they can and can't say. And ultimately, the play asks an important question. Do we pay the price for being ourselves? And the answer to that is yes. The main character is a contrary woman with wonky eyes. She thinks that far too much of a fuss is made about seafood chowder, that Irish people take far too long to say goodbye. She in fact wonders if her Irish passport is going to be revoked because she's possibly the only Irish person who doesn't like ham, and also the only Irish person who says what she means. She goes mad at waiters who say that the soup of the day is vegetable, because she sees it as a sign of the vegetable soup apocalypse. But really what she's concerned about is a bit of an apocalypse of blandness that can sometimes be caused if we live our lives too much by the rules that other people expect us to live by. So she's somebody who does not live by the rules. Her wonky eyes have freed her, in a sense, to do that. But she explores the ways in which she's paid the price for that, the consequences of it. And towards the end, she asks herself, is it worth the price? Is it worth it to be yourself, even if other people don't approve?